So I had this idea this week for this sort of Steve subplot that I just kind of wanted to share like what I've been able to do with it and then also turn it over to the class and see if anyone else like wants to play in this verse. This kind of sits at the intersection of like three different characterization things, so I want to walk through those. The first is just how much Steve compartmentalizes, which I think is really epitomized in season 2. In that season, we see not just the 110% commitment he has to both engaging with the upside down and dealing with it and completely ignoring it, but also very specifically the difficulty he has in switching tracks between the two and in any way integrating them and dealing with them holistically in any sense. Second, I've noticed just how much he uses sort of like physicality and physical expressions of things to sort of process things and express things. Again, looking at season 2, I think this is really clear in the way that he like dances at the party and is using basketball for so much of that season, but it's also in little things like swinging the baseball bat when he's a little bit stressed and like cleaning even. And then the last thing is something that Danger Denim on Tumblr pointed out, which is that of all the people in Hawkins, the person who actually has the time, resources, and lack of anyone around him to care where he is to be able to go to a gay club and explore that scene is actually Steve. So all of this together has just sort of coalesced into this scenario that I can't stop picturing, and I just wanted to share like what I have of it so far. What I keep picturing is Steve after the end of season 2, just lying awake one night, kept up by his bruises and the anxiety in his head with no physical outlet anymore because he's been ousted by Billy on the physical and social court of the school, and the upside down is no longer there, so there's nothing to fight, just grabbing his keys and driving into the night. Eventually, he finds himself at a club with great music and he just loses himself dancing in it, and he just neatly compartmentalizes the fact that this is clearly a gay club. And I just picture it being this huge outlet for him, this place that he can kind of express and exercise all of these things that he doesn't feel like he has space for in his regular life. And I picture it culminating, him getting so deep into the scene that eventually he's like a full-on painted up, glam, like anonymous stage persona performer in these clubs. And what I love thematically about this too is the way that that clear split between the two parts of his lives would give Steve both permission to engage in thoughts and feelings and ways of being that he wouldn't let himself engage with if he didn't have a place for them, but it would also sharpen the sort of torment he feels about who he is really and which one he's supposed to be and which one is the performance, until he finally realizes, of course, that he can integrate them. Be able to make the whole animatic I picture in my head for this idea. But for now, I have this just concept art. And if anyone wants to take this idea and cosplay with it or write or draw something for it, please do and just tag me because I'd love to see it.